What's happening, everybody? My name is Shidosha, the Fly Guy. Man, am I in a good mood. Has nothing to do with the 88, but I'm glad we're here doing this today because you know it's 88 day where you guys ask me any questions. So with that said, let's get to them. Anonymous asks, do you like to read? And if so, what are your favorite books or authors? Alright, I don't know if this counts as reading, but back in the day, I used to be a big manga fan. See, it's a graphic novel, so again, like, I don't know if that counts as reading. Most of the time when I do read, though, I like to read things that are kind of helpful, things that I can learn from, things where I can get my advice from, you know, stuff like that. That's my preference, but, you know, I mean, everybody's got their own things. I like to learn more so than I like to read casually. So when I do read, it's usually something informative, you know, self-help things, you know, maybe something around the lines of marketing, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, I do read, but usually to kind of, you know, broaden my education. We got Kai Graff here. Have you ever been in the hospital for more than a week? Because I am. Jeez. Hope you're doing all right, my brother. Stay up, Ghost. Anyway, to answer your question, yeah, I've been in the hospital before. You know, I actually, you know, when I was a lot bigger, when I was a lot heavier, I was diagnosed with asthma. I had asthma, really bad asthma. This is when I was really young, and I had to go to the hospital for that. I mean, I guess you can say it's severe or it's not. I guess it depends on the person, but for me personally, I mean, you know, closed up lungs, pretty bad, can't breathe, might die. First time I've ever spent over a week in the hospital, it was pretty cool. I don't know, maybe it's because I was young and I've never done something like that before, but I don't know, when I was in the hospital, I had a good experience, not to mention my grandmother was a registered nurse, so she really took care of me when I was there, so I mean, I don't know, the experience never really drifted far from home for me, but nobody wants to be in a hospital. How do you get over a girl that just dumped you? Okay, I answered this question actually for somebody earlier, but I kept this in the ADA because I wanted to answer it for everybody else. This really depends on how long you've been in a relationship. In a situation where you've been in a relationship for like maybe a week or something like that, which is actually kind of what happened here, I don't know, I don't get attached. I don't have enough time to get attached. So I usually end up feeling annoyed and not hurt or anything. So usually the kind of pain of getting annoyed, you get over it. But for people who have been in a long-term relationship, you know, something like that, like I have, that's gonna suck when you break off because, I mean, no matter what the situation is, no matter whose fault, it doesn't matter whose fault. When you exit that relationship, I mean, you kind of invested your heart into that. It's gonna bother you. It's going to bother you. The best way to do it, and I actually talked about this on the Game Lounge podcast, links in the description. The best way to get over it is to, you know, occupy yourself, occupy your time. Your biggest enemy is going to be your own mind in this situation. What I mean by that is this. If you're hanging out by yourself and you're doing things that you would normally do, you might end up doing something or run across something that reminds you of her, right? It's ridiculous. It's frustrating. You want to kind of clear your mind of all of that stuff. Not only that, but if you occupy your time and do something productive, you're not going to have time to think about that person. Also, Mikey said this, and I agree because I did this myself when I was getting out of my relationship. Delete your Facebook. Get rid of it. Twitter, you don't have to do that so much for. You can, like, mute people. But I mean, there's nothing, especially in the social media digital era, there's nothing more annoying than seeing the significant other, maybe in another picture, especially with another guy or girl, you know, depending on the gender. It's frustrating, and it can be really, really disturbing to yourself. You don't want to get into that. You want to get over this person, so you need to get them out of your life. Hopefully you guys take that advice, because I've been talking for like ever on that topic. What's your opinion on marriage? I'm for the whole matrimony thing in a sense that, like, I love when people come together and for a cause. I just hate the business aspect of marriage. Marriage is a business. I hate that. Usually when people get married, it's kind of to connect, not two families, but kind of two sets of, like, two assets together. I see this a lot in arranged marriages. I see this a lot in traditional marriages here today, which is kind of the reason why there's a prenuptial agreement and stuff like that. It's like, it's a contract. That's what a marriage is. It's a contract. And, you know, if two people are committed together, you know, in love and matrimony. See, the problem is the business of marriage capitalizes on the cloudy mindset of love. Excuse me. It's frustrating. I don't like that because I feel like that manipulates the mind. People do that for business, though. You know, that's just the way it is. So, I mean, overall, I do not mind marriage, but I don't like the concept of marriage as a business. Also, I should say, I don't care who marries who. This might come up in a topic later. Men, women, women. I don't care. Yourself, whatever. Whatever makes you happy. What do you think of someone that has polyorchidism? I don't know if I said that right, but I don't know. Like, to be honest with you, I don't know. I guess it's because I've never really asked about anybody's testicles that I never really cared. I think I have no thoughts about that. It's your balls. I got two. I got two. But like, I don't know. It's such a weird question. I don't really pass judgment on people with extra body parts. Although that does remind me of Total Recall with the lady with 3 titties. I always wanted to grab the middle titty. I shouldn't have put that in this ADA. Have you ever accidentally deleted one of your game saves? I think we've all done this before, but with that said, I should tell a funny story. And this one's for you, T-Brawl, if you're listening. Have you ever had someone else delete your game save? Because my homie Terratox was a victim of that, and I feel so bad because that literally broke a relationship. Look, when you're playing an RPG, like, you know how long those games can be. And he was, poor Terratox, he was trying to 100% to some bitch. And then one of our roommates at the time just, no thought, starts a new game, deletes its save. They never got along after that, and it was the funniest thing to me personally. But I know he was gonna fight over that game. What is the craziest thing you've done when you were a kid? Probably try to stab somebody. When I was young, I was really violent, believe it or not. A lot of people don't notice that. I've tried to mellow myself out. I think I talked about this in a previous ADA, or at least in some shape or form in a question. But yeah, I used to be really violent when I was young. And I was also really sensitive. So when people bullied me or picked on me, I had to fight back. Like, that's kind of how I was taught. And that's just part of the neighborhood I was raised in. So, you know, many times I've gotten into a fight and I pulled the knife. I didn't get a chance to advance. The only thing that stopped me was my brother's friends who were actually looking out for me because they didn't want me to get arrested. And the other kid, God rest his soul, he passed away. He was murdered. But guy was a bully, and I just didn't want to be a victim to his bullying anymore. So I was gonna kill him myself, and I was really geared and set forward to do it and committed to it. And my father really cried about it and broke his heart. And I told him I don't care. I want him dead. And that's probably the craziest thing I ever did. That was actually, believe it or not, I'm glad that happened because that was kind of the thing that got me out of that neighborhood. The fact that I wanted to kill somebody from the deep down bottom of my heart. Yeah, that was pretty dark, huh? I'm sorry. If the dictionary had the word Shidosha in it, what would be the definition? Okay, you know what? I want to stop on this question real fast because this is a question that everybody should ask themselves in life. This is important because this is really, I mean, you're asking for my definition, who I am, and you guys should do that to yourself, for yourself. Ask who you are. It's the best thing you can do. If you could carry that mantra of who you are and what you believe in into the future and into all of the things that you do, trust me, your resolve is going to go through the roof. You're going to get a lot out of life. You're going to love yourself. I'm telling you. Anyway, back to the question. What does Shidosha mean? Honestly, I use that mantra, Shidosha being Japanese for leader. If it was in a dictionary, I guess it would, be for somebody who really sets their own path and walks the earth at their own beat. That's probably the definition I would have. And the reason being for that is because, honestly, I don't fit in anywhere. I just don't. I try, doesn't work. I'm a trendsetter in the sense that I always try to adapt stuff in their infancy, and it's important to do that. At least for me personally, it's important to do that. I'm aware that as time has gone by, I've really had to kind of, lead the pack in a lot of the communities and the things that I do. And the reason being is because the things that I believe in, the things that I choose, it's kind of, in a sense, it's just unconventional. So, I kind of stand out from the norm. I want to say I'm different, kind of like everybody else, in a sense. But, I'm a lot more vocal, and my cause and my resolve is a lot more obvious. So that kind of makes me the leader of a new path. And a lot of people want to go out and explore and try new things. So, yeah, I guess, those are a lot of words, but if Shidosha was in the dictionary and that was, something that would define me, it would just be a person that really goes out and helps people find new paths in life, new ways of life. Kind of that's the reason why this ADA is out here. People pick my brain about a lot of things. So, everybody's trying to grow and build themselves, right? I guess I'm a catalyst for that. And there you go, Shidosha. How many times have you taken a bullet for someone only to find out they were the one behind the gun? Term for that is scapegoat. Let's go for that. Yeah, I was born that way. I still, till this day, I end up taking the bullet for a lot of people. And I guess that's just because of my nature. I do anything in my power to help somebody out, get them out of trouble if I can. And due to that, people kind of leave me hanging. They leave me in the back burner to fend for myself, and that sucks. But you know, as time goes by, you get stronger. You learn how to deal with crap like that. Happens often, still happens till this day. You know, what do? You take the licks as you go and get stronger from it. Which program do you use to edit your videos? All right, that's an easy question. I just use Adobe Premiere. Sometimes I'll use After Effects, but I mean, for an ADA or something like this, just Adobe Premiere. Shit, what camera do you use for your streams? Do you think it would work if I use my laptop's webcam to do some face cams on Twitch like you do? In regards to the webcam that I use, it's a Logitech. I forgot the model, but since I use a desktop, it goes through USB, 720p, although I usually never render it at that quality because it's just unnecessary. People aren't really looking at my face, so it's not a big deal. In regards to you using your webcam, I used to do that on my Asus, my laptop, when I used to stream back in the day, because that's what I had. I had a laptop, that was it. Yeah, webcam works fine. It might be a little slow depending on what it is, but you know, if your laptop is strong, I'm talking about like Alienware strong or Asus ROG kind of quality, it should work. It should work. You just gotta calibrate it to your liking and also make sure you got some proper lighting there. I don't, as you can see when I play the horror games, it's really dark and I'm black enough, right? I mean, light skin on here, but you get the point. Either way, yeah, webcam works just fine. And you know, to start, I'd still recommend you get something bigger, better. Actually, if you want to, you can use a DSLR as well, but not necessary. Tyler Carr asks, how often do you grease your monkey? Well, I don't own a monkey. I'm not Michael Jackson. And I didn't know you grease them. Like, how does that work? I guess you grease their hair, in a little mohawk or something. Yeah, I know what you meant. Don't ask me stupid questions like that. What do you take pictures of the most? I don't take pictures, to be honest. I don't like to. I mean, I might when I'm in a group of people, we'll take pictures together. People usually take pictures of me, but I definitely don't take a lot of pictures of myself unless I'm doing progress pictures. Actually, I guess that counts, right? Okay, so to answer your question, I take progress pictures. When I go work out, go to the gym and all of that stuff, progress pictures is usually what I do. So, yeah, okay. That works, right? And with that said, guys, we are done for the day. I don't know why, but like I said before, I am in a good mood. And I'm going to make the best of it. But not before I give you guys a question to answer for yourself. I kind of asked this in the beginning, but I'm going to ask this right now. What do you do when your day just feels great? Like, what activities must you accomplish? Like, what goes through your mind? What adventures are you looking for? Just what do you plan and what do you do when you're just in a good mood? Anyway, that was a little bit of a mouthful, but that doesn't matter. If you got any questions to ask or you want to answer a question yourself, remember the comment section below has your back. Also, ask.fm/Shidosha. That's kind of the best place to ask me questions, especially if you want to do it anonymously. Also, don't forget the Game Lounge podcast. It's out. iTunes, Spreaker, YouTube. You already know how to find those links also in the description below. And if you like this video, make sure to like it, rate it, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next week. With that said, I'm going to try this monkey greasing thing.